President Trump talking about he doesn't remember or doesn't have recollection of 10 to 15 countries being targeted. I seem to remember it was him who brought that up. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Where do we stand on the latest as we build up to April the 2nd then, Brendan?
Yeah, so this is just the latest in a series of mixed messages that we're getting from the administration about how broadly these tariffs are going to hit American trading partners. It was Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent who described the quote-unquote dirty 15 countries. Those would be the 15 countries, the largest U.S. trading partners that account for about 80% of all U.S. imports. So the president saying the reciprocal tariffs are going to hit all countries kind of harks back to the universal tariff idea, so it's just kind of muddying the waters here as and we're only 2-3 days away from the announcement. So it would beg to you would think we need some clarification from the White House about what he's talking about all countries, and this goes against the messaging we heard from the White House last week that it was going to be a narrower list. We weren't going to be that, the U.S. wasn't going to be that tough on some countries. So a lot of I think this reflects the internal debate basically that's going on inside the White House about how hard or not to go with these tariffs.
OK, and it sounds like that debate then is arguably still fluid as we head up to April the 2nd. Can we make the case that we have more clarity in terms of the rationale, though, Brendan, when it comes to the auto tariffs that, of course, were signed off on last week? We've been hearing from the president on the underpinnings of that policy measure.
Yeah, they've been pretty clear on, relatively speaking, on the auto tariffs. They want cars built in America with American parts, and that it goes against a few decades of the auto industry setting its supply chains across North America and to Europe and Asia. So global supply chains for the auto industry are global, and the administration is saying we want all that made in America, and Americans will buy cars that are made in America. So in some ways, he's kind of tearing up the free trade agreements that the U.S. has with Canada and Mexico and saying, we want all that work to come home. His advisor, Peter Navarro, was out hitting the airwaves over the past few days saying this would create hundreds of thousands of jobs. But if you look at the past decade or two of American manufacturing, we're talking about 5 million jobs that have disappeared. So a couple 100,000 wouldn't seem to make a huge dent in restoring American manufacturing to the golden age that they think they can return it to.